So we're doing another Armies of Late War game here. It's going to be Germans versus Soviets. Brian, you're playing the Germans today. Can you tell us a bit about your list?
Yeah, so I've just gone for predominantly a Panzer Grenadier platoon. So I've got the HQ and two Panzer Grenadier platoons, one full strength and one partial strength. I wanted to bring that list in because I wanted to bring in my flamers to take on the infantry that you might have. So that's the core of the list. And then using the support rules, I've brought in 3 units of different various tanks to bulk the army out. So I've got 3 Panthers to try and take on some of your big guns. I've got 3 Stugs on the left hand side, and on the right hand side of my deployment zone I've got 3 Panzer IVs. So 3 different types of tanks to support the infantry moving forward. And that's then backed off by a unit of Nebs for some artillery. So predominantly Panzer Grenadier supported with 3 different tank platoons, tank units, sorry, and some rocket infantry.
And one of your
squishers.
Panzer Grenadier platoons, the shortened version, you've got 5 bases in it.
Yes, this smaller one across this side here as well. And as you see, I'm trying, so I can flip back to the book. I've got myself the cards as well to see if I can keep up with what the different units do as well, to see if it makes a difference and try to keep the game live, telling me what each unit can do.
So for the Soviets, I've got 2 companies. I've got an infantry company and a Churchill company. The infantry company has got 2 platoons of 8 bases with 2 anti-tank guns, 2 anti-tank rifles and 1 heavy machine gun in each. So they're not massive, but I'm not a fan of big massive groups of infantry, and certainly in Vessel 4 because they just lump together and just follow each other around. So there's 2 platoons of infantry, and they've also got a platoon of 4 infantry guns and a platoon of 4 47mm anti-tank guns. One of the things about the Armies of Late War is that the infantry don't get the option of fielding the 57mm anti-tank gun. That's only available to T-34 companies, which is a bit weird. There might be a reason for that, but I would always have the 57mm if I could, but I can't. So the Churchill company is 2 platoons of 4 Churchills and a single Churchill for company command. And then they've got 5 Su-100s as some heavy hitting anti-tank support, while the Churchills, because they're a guard unit, they won't have hen and chicks, so that might be quite interesting. The mission is free for all. We just selected it at random, so we're just going to give it a go, and it forces both of us to think about defence and attack, so it's quite handy. Brian, where did you put the objectives down? Well, I think you can probably tell.
Where all the infantry are.
Yeah, so 1 there and 1 there. This town here is going to be lots and lots of cross checks to get through, so it might be tricky for tanks. I put 1 objective behind the church.
Yep, and 1 underneath. It's sitting underneath my Panthers at the moment.
It's got squashed by Panthers, and then I put another one over right out on the flank on that hill. So it's going to be a roll off to see who goes first. Brian, you got a dice now, because this is an encounter type mission. Whoever goes first cannot do bombardments in the first turn. So I've rolled a mighty 1 and Brian rolled a mighty 5, so Brian will be going first. And weirdly, that might actually work in my favour because I can shoot your artillery before you shoot mine, which is a bit daft, but there you go. So we'll come back at the end of turn 1.
Okay, so the German turn 1, just to make up for my mistake in deployment and the number of tanks going away, I've decided to dash my Panthers across to try and give some support to the 3 lone Panzer IVs on the hill. These guys took shots and had 2 hits on your Churchills but failed to do any damage. They then done a shoot and scoot to come back off the hill to give me cover for any return fire at the moment. So moving across to protect against this side of the board. In the middle, I just came off of that objective, Panthers that way, and to support the Panzer Grenadier HQ this way, because I'm taking a turn up towards this objective, although I will have to wait and get rid of those 4 big guns first. The lead Panzer IV, sorry, the lead Stug, did take a shot at the infantry gun, but failed to hit. Did a 6, so first go to the Germans.
Soviet turn one. First of all, the artillery guns, they fired and ranged down over here, but it was on the third attempt, so they didn't hit anything. There was 3 half-tracks of 3 guns. The Su-100 stayed still. There's only 3 of them getting shots, but they stayed still, fired, missed the Stug, but they managed to get 2 hits with rerolls, needing 6s, so that was pretty good going out of 2 shots, to be honest. And they managed to kill 1 Neb. And then they did a shooting scoot so that the whole platoon could swing around and point that way. These guys are not feeling very confident at taking on Panthers because they can't hurt them, and they need a 6 on the front at short range to save against them. And that would be just a bail, so they've backed off. These guys are staying where they are just to keep the options open on this flank just now. So over to German turn 2 for some retaliation.
Okay, so the end of German turn 2, I decided to keep consolidating up on this right hand side first of all. So I moved my Panthers around. I had to move them tactical to get into range to go at these Churchills. And I tried a blitz move with the Panzer Force, which failed, so they had to move, take it on the hill to fire as well. So with all that moving and then the penalties to shoot, I managed to hit 3 Churchills, bailed out 2, 1 made it safe, so 2 bailed out Churchills sitting at the moment. So I need to try and quickly get rid of that side of the table so I can then swing around and concentrate over here. I decided that coming up the left hand flank was looking too dangerous with the big guns there, so I decided to move everything into behind the buildings and give me some cover, just to give me a turn or 2, just to try and consolidate and get more tanks into this corner here. But what I did then do was open up with my 2 remaining Nebs, which were actually pretty successful for just having 2 guns and all the rerolls. As you can see, there's a splattering of hits across here. I managed to kill 2 of the infantry guns, and I think there was a machine gun.
Heavy machine gun.
Heavy machine gun sitting here as well, with a number of saves made. So
basically everything that I wanted to save failed.
So not bad for two guns. I don't suppose they're going to last much longer, but at least I've potentially taken out some of the artillery here. So a bit of just moving around just to get some cover, try and take some shots, and then end the German turn 2.
A very quick Soviet turn 2. First of all, for movement, the Churchills just ducked in behind these buildings. They can't fight Panthers, it's an impossibility. So they just get this all out of sight. The Su-100s stayed put and fired. The artillery fired. Artillery managed to get a hit on one of the guns, but it's saved. The Su-100s got 5 hits out of 5 on 6s, even with rerolls. That's pretty exceptional. 1 failed its 2 saves, and I passed my firepower. The other one failed it 1 save, but I failed my firepower on that. So there's 1 gun left there now. I'm hoping it'll run away, because if it doesn't, it's ranged in on a lot of stuff and can still do a lot of damage. So a very short turn. The Su-100s, by the way, tried to do a shooting scoot just to reposition themselves, but that didn't happen. So over to Germans for turn 3.
Okay, so beginning of German turn 3. So this unit had a unit last stand. Failed the first attempt, but because the company formation HQ was in range, he managed to stay on the table without a reroll. So he stayed on, and we'll see that made a bit of a difference in the game as well. On the right hand side of my table, my 3 Panzer IVs, because there was no tanks to shoot at, decided to take some shots at the unit and the
Tank guns.
Tank guns here. Didn't do any damage, as you can see, so then done a blitz move after the turn to get back off the hill out of range. My Panthers decided, actually, you know what, they're going to have to come in. These are the things that we're going to have to take out your Su-100, so they've moved across behind the hill, but keeping 1 shot just up the road just in case something does move. And then, you know, I just thought, you know, just for the sake of a game, I tried to blitz move, but didn't blitz move, unfortunately. But I had to move my 3 Stugs out just to take some shots at your guns, because there was a potential that I could have done some damage. So I managed to hit the 3 guns in front of me, but because of the mistaken target rule, you then managed to put 2 of them onto the tanks at long range, which gives you a better protection. As you can see, only managed to
roll 1 now.
Get 1 bailed out. So these guys could be in trouble now for return fire, but you know, I thought I just had to go for it. I think the big moment though was because this guy stayed on the table, and it's a bit of a silly rule where the one gun can do so much damage, already been rolled in. You can see a bit of carnage that's been caused in the unit here. So I managed to take out 2 stands, units pinned, number of hits around there as well. So
and for you American players out there with 1 mortar in your platoon, that can do the exact same, which is quite nasty.
Quite a strange one. So yeah, Germans, I think are going to get a bit of a slap coming back at this turn, but yeah, just wanted to take the game forward a little bit.
Russian turn 3. A little bit of movement for the Churchills there, biding the time, see what happens with the Panthers. Over here, I failed to get a remount on the SU-100 with the company commander getting a reroll. The other tanks fired and managed to hit twice, so that was just straight firepower, 2 dead Stooks. And I did not hit with my 2 remaining guns, didn't hit this guy, so he's still in the game. So a very short turn for the Russians, but absolutely everything was dictated by these Panthers, because a Churchill can't move because of them, because they'll just die.
Okay, so my turn now is I moved with a blitz move my Panther 4s up onto the hill, took some shots at the gun, managed to do a hit but made a save, then failed the blitz move to get back off of the the shooting scoop move to get back off the hill, but I don't think there's anything at the moment that can take them unless the big tanks come round. In the middle, moved my Panzer and Panthers up, managed to take 2 shots up the road at his guns but failed to do any damage. Just moved slightly my flamers round, ready to launch an assault when I'm ready. But this guy's still been alive because he was kept in the game by the rerolls from the unit. This guy unfortunately didn't stay in the game, he ran away. He's still doing some damage across here, so as you can see I think we've taken out another stand. We've got about 3 or 4 hits there as well, so the unit's hopefully will still be pinned if it doesn't unpin next turn. So yeah, at the moment this one gun is still doing a bit of damage here, slowly whittling things down.
So Russian turn 4, these guys are just kind of positioning themselves for the oncoming attack from the Panthers. They managed to hit that gun twice, save twice, and to be honest it could save all day long, and then just keep putting a bombardment down here, and there's nothing you can do about it, to be honest. It seems a little bit too strong, that one gun can be as effective. It really is a whole battery. They did a shoot and scoot after the shot because I need to pull back away from those Panthers that are going to start hitting me next turn. Over here, because the Panthers are committed, the Churchills have moved up. They've got a short range being 6-pounders. One platoon, this platoon here dashed, other one tried some shots, never got any hits, but at least now it's game on opposite sides of the table.
Okay, so this is not a good turn for the Germans, this one then. So my neighbour eventually failed its unit last stand, so he's now away, so it just meant that I was going to start moving up with the Panzergrenadier HQ. So on this side, as you can see, tried to blitz, and everything it tried to blitz failed, so everything had to do tactical moves. So I had to try and get enough shots into the large Russian guns, so I had to move 2 Panthers across the 10-inch range. This one couldn't have made the shots, he was going to try and come round the front to take a shot, but failed a boggin check, so cross check should I say, so stuck in the middle of the town there. I then tried to take the shots and failed to hit, so they're now sitting ducks for some return shots coming back my way, so it could be game over if this side loses the tanks here. Because these guys started to move forward, I'd had the guys already on the hill with the Panzer IVs. They took shots and I managed to do a number of hits, bailing out 2 tanks. They then done a shoot and scoot and came back off the hill to save any return fire. And lastly I'd moved up my small Panzer Grenadier platoon, tried to get the guys out there with a shoot and scoot at a movement at the end of the movement turn, but failed that. But next time they're going to come out and just put a little bit of infantry around the unit here. But I think, to be honest with you, if this goes wrong and my Panzer IVs, so my Panthers disappear, I think that's all I can do then.
Just got to go on the defensive, but we'll see. I still need 6s to hit you.
Yeah.
We think it's 5. The Churchills, because there's no targets, everyone going back behind the crest of the hill, they've all just dashed up. They'll go back in, but they're fearless with protected ammo and a company commander beside them, so it's very unlikely they're not going to get back in. Over here, the anti-tank guns are starting to slide over to where the softer targets are. These guys fired and managed to get one hit on a Panther, and it failed its save. What would have been, that'd be 11, actually 12 against 16. Yeah, and you got a 3, yeah, so it failed its save. The 2 infantry guns managed to actually do something again. They ranged in over here and got one of the flamer half-tracks. That's it for the Russians this turn. We'll have to see what happens. The Germans might have to go on the defensive.
Seeing the German turn 6, done a blitz move with my tanks back onto the hill and took 6 shots, hitting 4 times on your
I've just forgot to put the hits on, but every one of them got hit, but they all saved this time.
All saved it. I've done a blitz move to get the infantry out of the half tracks, and then tried to a blitz move to dig in. Failed that, so they're slightly out in the open. Crossing the other side, a bit of chaos, just back and forth like a fiddle's elbow. I moved the flame track up, he survived, made his last man stand again with the unit here as well.
The Panther had to do one as
well,
Panther
had to do as well because of it was split outside of range, but managed to stay where he was as well. So then it was a case of bringing my 2 Panthers across here to take some shots at your guns, and as you can see there's no markers, so there was no hits.
They rolled 3 2s. You never rolled above a 3 on that side.
But the commander did do a shoot and scoot because he hadn't moved. It was just the second one to come across to get him behind the building. But really, I survived this turn. I don't know really how.
You've not tried to shoot and scoot on them yet?
I think I'm going to stay in the hill because the hill down, you're gonna hit me anyway. So if I don't move, then stay where I am.
Right. Okay. 6. First of all, over here. The Churchill stood still and fired, and they were getting 3 dice per tank, so there was lots of hits, quite a lot of hits. 1 tank survived though, made 3 saves, but 2 went. So there's 1 Panzer IV sitting up there by itself just now with some infantry with a Panzerfaust on the command base. Over here these little guns are still moving over just in case they're needed. These guys fired and managed to get that Panther that was sticking itself out over there, and then they shooted and scooted back a bit. The Churchills also did a shoot and scoot after their move, after their shooting, and then over here the 2 little guns managed to destroy the company commander's half track, but he made his save and managed to hit another half track that saved. So I think it really depends on blood, guts and glory for the Germans over here. We'll see what happens.
It's the end of a very disastrous German turn, so my Panther failed his last man stand, even though the company HQ was near him, so he's away, so that's basically left that side of the table ineffective. Across here, with the last tank, he did stay on the table. 2 hits, and as you can see, just 2 bales.
I rolled a 1 and a 2 for my saves.
So I've been fearless, trained with
I think
ammo.
Those Churchills collectively have been bailed out something like 5 times during this game.
That, yeah, at least 5-6 times. So
you know, and they're just not being
very
killed.
Good, very good. It's the number of shots coming, so I think that's me going to concede as the German player and give the game over to a Russian victory.
So what did you think of this as a list?
Probably struggled a bit. I decided, well, lack of anti-tank guns in the infantry units is an issue. 3 units, does that make a difference? Maybe, maybe not. I think probably the list is okay. The execution of the list was what was poor, I think.
Maybe some Pack 40s instead of tanks, so you've got a defensive element if you are. Because Pack 40s is absolute murder to kill.
I could have maybe gone for 2 Pack 40s or 3 Pack 40s and actually made the Stoogs a unit of 4 then, possibly.
And that way, I mean, they're not very mobile, but they can hold on. You have to do such a wide range of missions with your force.
And that might free up some points and then put some Panzerfaust in there. I'll have a look at that across the units as well. I could have brought a King Tiger. I decided not to bring the King Tiger, but I think the King Tiger would have been good. But I thought 3 Panthers as opposed to 1 King Tiger should have, in theory, given me a better chance, but it didn't really work out that way. So yeah, maybe dropping the 3 Panzer, dropping these, putting 2 Pak 40s in, make it 4 Stugs, and then put some Panzerfaust in the units, just so at least there's a. You can only get 1 now in each unit maximum, so you can only have Panzerfaust toting German units unless you use one of the rule books, the other army list books. But I think I got went wrong at the beginning because of this deployment here. Sticking these the weakest tanks on the one objective was probably the wrong thing to do.
I think once you committed your Panthers, it meant I could go over there, but it's one of those games where you have to do something or nothing's going to happen.
Put the Panthers down last, I think, so you don't, you know.
And if you'd have kept your Panthers in the middle, I would have tried to squeeze these guys around the outside to get an angle on hiding anything hidden here, like the Stugs. So it would have been difficult. I think there was 2 really strong tank units on either side, and with you just having 3 tank units, you were kind of outmatched.
Yeah.
Maybe concentrating all of them together, but that's not easy.
I think my man in the match was single out, was the Neb.
Again, I was absolutely cursing it.
That was good. I think it's a very strong list you've got there, because these things are survivable.
Well, they were lucky today, because they were bailed out at least 5 times.
The amount of shots they can put in when they do get in is horrendous. And being fearless with protected ammo.
The company commander, if he's near them, getting a...
I know, that's a fantastic unit to have in there.
Basically 2 dice, a reroll, so basically 2 dice on anything but a 1 to remount.
And the 100s is all wish you need.
Okay. A unit of 5 of them is just nasty. And when I used them, I didn't try to blitz them at any time because they're absolutely useless, but what I did try to do is shoot and scoot them to keep pushing them back from any approaching tanks, so that they got long range and be not going to be worried about their flanks.
I do like the idea of the flamers coming with the Panzer Grenadier platoon, just to see, if there's infantry in front of me, machine gun and some flamers. I like my flamers. It's just unfortunate I just couldn't get any near infantry for they were well protected by guns and tanks. Which is the only thing. But yeah, an enjoyable game. I think I watched it quite early on and held on with the.
You were quite aggressive. If you'd have been less aggressive, the game would still be going on. But I think I would have got you either over there or backed you off into a corner with SU-100s over here, and then so I suppose you had to come and try and get them.
Yeah, I wasn't going to sit back in this game. I wanted to go for the jugular. But a good game.
Thanks for watching, folks. We'll see if we can get another one up soon.